welcome to this first lesson in Tantra. So let's start. We're starting and we're focused about Dakinis. The Dakini is a female goddess, a female deity in Tantra. These are Tantric female practitioners / divine counterparts and hold the secrets of Tantra. They're often called sky dancers because they reach this point of emptiness, of nothingness, and connection to the divine. So even in the sexual act, Tantra claims that we need to practice detachment and become empty. In this video, I want to use a book which I found in the library and I really love. It's called Passionate Enlightenment. And I'm gonna use some paragraphs to kind of frame what I'm speaking about. This is a well-researched book. This author, her name is Miranda Shaw. She is a Harvard graduate and she decided to focus on Tantra Buddhism research, and she traveled all across Tibet and India and Japan and other countries, and she found traces and evidence of Tantra from a female perspective. Okay, so we're starting with chapter 1, Seeking the Traces of Sky Dancers. Anyone who reads a Tantric text or enters a Tantric temple immediately encounters a dazzling array of striking female imagery, which is really interesting that the Tantrics put female imagery that is connected to something that's called in Tantra female worship. One discovers a pantheon of female Buddhas and a host of female enlighteners known as Dakinis. The Dakinis leap and fly, unfettered by clothing, encircled by billowing hair, their bodies curved in sinuous dance poses. Their eyes blaze with passion, ecstasy, and voracious intensity. One can almost hear the soft clacking of their intricate bone jewelry and feel the wind steered by their rainbow scarves as they soar through the Tantric Buddhist landscape. So I'm stopping here just to point that they have bone jewelry, these Dakinis, and also they carry rainbow scarves. Rainbow in Buddhism represents something else. It's called a rainbow body. So a rainbow body is when we reach that nothingness and detachment from a situation, from our ego, and we can see things from a distance. So we're not in our body. We see the phenomena of the body. We see the phenomena of the one that's viewing the body. And we're like the third thing, the third energy. So it's an enlightened state. And some say that a very enlightened person could turn himself or herself to a rainbow or to different lights. So when these Dakinis dance with rainbow scarves, that means that they dance with that heightened awareness, that they almost laugh about the situations in life that we're so attached to because they found a way to detach and enjoy the emptiness. So they actually dance in an empty space because that's where enlightenment is. And also their bone jewelry is representing that Tantra is not only about pleasure. I mean, it is encouraging us to experience pleasure and also expand through pleasure, but it also is a really intense method that doesn't fear death. So a lot of tantric practices were in the past in cremation grounds and dealing with bones and skulls of dead people. So getting closer to death. And why is that? So tantric rituals want to generate a higher kundalini energy in our body. They want to make us feel something exceptional. And it's not about disrespecting the dead or something like that, but rather making us realize that our death is close and that it's up to us to live fully in this life. So it's kind of a wake-up call, and also a celebration of cycles of life and death. Some of the most advanced Dakinis and Yoginis are covered with bone jewelry, skulls. They also sometimes can look very skeleton-like, some don't, right? But the point is, things are not as they seem in Tantra. So the Tantric Yoginis are measured by their spiritual level and not always by their looks. And coming back to the bones and bone jewelry, there were in the past Tantric feasts, and there they would drink wine actually out of skulls. So Tantrics not only don't fear death, they also are not afraid to use not only skulls, but get closer to our body, to our stool, urine, whatever it is. Like, nothing is disgusting and nothing is taboo, but a way to reach a better understanding and a closeness to self. So for me, when I take it to my life, I sometimes have amazing insights when, unfortunately, I hear about people close to me that died, or that tragedies occur. And I'm so grateful to find Tantra to give me permission or access to deal with these emotions, because I don't know when you're going to watch this video, but there are some world events happening and people getting killed and hurt, and it's very, very tragic. But inside of myself, in these moments of complete sorrow and anger, I also hear voices in me that were numb, and some fuel for me to move forward, to do something that I believe in. And here I am recording this video because I truly believe that, you know, women, we have so much power to heal, to help humanity. Okay, continuing. These unrestrained damsels appear to revel in freedom of every kind. Expressions of this motif in Tantric literature describes yoginis with magical powers, powerful enchantresses with the ability to change shape at will, and enlightened women who can spark a direct experience of reality with a precisely aimed word or gesture. The author of the book had to have permission to enter the archives to explore Tantra from a female view, because till she did it, so many interpreters, Western interpreters, said that, you know, Tantra was for men, and women that participated in all the rituals were prostitutes, and it's just an enlightened path for the men. And she was like, hey, this doesn't make sense. How can a yogi, who is the most spiritual entity on earth, use another person's body just for his selfish reasons? And why are these temples covered with female imagery and not only male imagery? Like, why are they worshiping women if that's true what they say, if these are prostitutes? So actually, her research shows that these are not just prostitutes. Not that I have any issue at all with prostitutes. I think they're amazing. But she says that these women were highly spiritual women, and they were artists and scholars and dancers and very, very talented women, which also seeked enlightenment. They didn't do anything that they didn't want to do. And they actually benefited from all the rituals for their own purposes, and not to help the yogi male to reach his enlightenment. There was a special temple that was discovered not too many years ago that has clear evidence that that was a temple of these enlightened females, and they provided service not only for their own selves to reach enlightenment, but also for their community, even for all India, for them to be part of the rituals, for the ceremonies, to dance for them. and they had to project a certain heightened energy, of course. So the colonials thought that these were temples of prostitutes, and some British people thought that they were strumpets and harlots, and proceeded to outlaw this tradition. But this was a judgment that was out of knowledge. And there was a temple in Puri, Puri, in the coastal state of Orissa, discovered a tradition of economically independent, learned, and veteran temple dancers whose ritual services were essential to the maintenance of a well-run Indian kingdom. As embodiments of female divinity and power, the dancer received lavish gifts for their services and worshipped covered the very dust from their feet. I want to show you here a picture of a Dakini enjoying her freedom in space. She's dancing in the clouds. So moving to how can we connect to our Dakini? How can we know that the Dakini is existing, is alive? So you know how like some people think that everything's a sign, you know, when there's a rainbow in the sky, when there is a bird, when there is like different flowers they see, I don't know, like every person has their own symbols. So that's actually a real thing in Tantra. So when we start revealing truths about sex, about Tantra, we are actually communicated with a realm of Dakinis in the sky. And these Dakinis almost choose you, and they grant that permission because they're very elusive, they're hard to catch. And you know, only somebody that is serious and wants to know this knowledge, they open up to. So anyways, the author was asking for permission, and different teachers looked at symbols in the world to see if she's allowed to go to these archives and read these sacred texts and explore and teach the world. So she gives an example of one of her visits to a spiritual teacher and what happened there. And I think it's so cute. So let's enjoy this together. To give an example, late one afternoon, when a lama was deliberating about instructing me, we left a darkening shrine room and emerged into the luminosity of a bright pink and golden sunset over snow-topped Himalayan peaks. As we paused at the door to admire the flaming panorama, a light snow suddenly began to fall out of a cloudless sky. The snowflakes reflected the colors of the sky and filled the air with a delicate shimmering shower of pink and gold. This unearthly and magical snowfall continued for 5 minutes and then stopped just as suddenly, leaving us breathless at the uncanny timing. It seemed to be a clear sign of the blessing of the female spirits called Dakinis, the special guardians of Tantric knowledge. This supernatural seal of approval opened the way for some invaluable teachings. On other occasions, rainbow, dreams, and other portents provided the needed authorization. It made sense to my informats that being female themselves, Dakinis would naturally be more favorably disposed to women than men, and apparently had chosen to entrust a transmission of the secret Yogini Tantra teachings to a woman at this time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your evening, and that this video helped raise your vibration in some way. Thank you so much. Bye.